of 77 Krunang Road in Carnegie. On behalf of the team at Ray White, but more importantly, on behalf of our vendors here today, we'd just like to say a very quick thank you to you all for your attendance, to any of the interested buyers here today. All the very best of luck with your bidding. Now, today's auction will be conducted in accordance with the rules and any additional conditions that were made available for inspection before the start of today's auction. The auction rules prohibit an auctioneer from accepting bids or offers for the property after the property is being knocked down to the successful bidder. The vendors have a reserve price, and as the auctioneer I can indicate bidders on request. The law prohibits false bids, prohibits any major disruptions by bidders, and prohibits bidders attempting to prevent others from bidding, and it does provide fines for this conduct. The rules do permit vendor bids, and the words we'll use during the auction to indicate we're making a bid on behalf of the vendor will very simply be vendor bid. And of course, by law, only I as the auctioneer today have the right to place that bid on behalf of the vendor. Attached to the contract of sale is section 32. We have had this on display for the last half an hour or so inside, and if you have taken the time to read through it, you'll see it does confirm. Ray White, as the vendor's estate agent, is selling what is formally described as Lot 1, in this instance being the apartment itself, and Lot 11, in this instance being a separate title for the car park on plan of subdivision 014190. It's like Lachlan's having technical difficulties over here. Vendor terms of sale will be calling for a 10% deposit and 30 or 60 day settlement. Of that 10% deposit, we'll get a $5,000 or $10,000 down payment today by EFT, and the balance of that 10% can be paid on Monday. If you are a first time auction attendee, to place a bid, it's very simple. Shout out your bid in a nice clear voice, hand in the air. You don't need to register in Victoria, so if you're out and about enjoying a walk in the afternoon and you want to go home with a property in hand, by all means be our guest. Now, the way that we'll be selling the property is if we declare it on the market at any stage throughout the auction, we'll call it down 3 times. On the first, second, third and final call, when the contract hits my hand, like so, the property will be sold. And at that point, buyers, no late bids can or will be accepted. So it's really important to make sure you get those bids in nice and early before the contract hits my hand. If we happen to fall short of the vendor's reserve price, it'll be the highest bidder and the highest bidder only that gets invited inside to exclusively negotiate. And of course, if there are no bids at all, then we get to approach any of the interested buyers post-auction, and there's no exclusivity in that negotiation. So the best thing you can do to give yourself the greatest chance of buying this property is put your hand in the air. Even if we're not on the market, if you walk inside, your odds instantly go up to about 80% of buying this property post-auction if you've just held the highest bid here today. So very good fighting odds for you buyers. And what's not to like about this particular building, 369 Neerim Road? It's obviously had an entire renovation done at some point in its life, but what we're left with is a very well-proportioned, solid brick building in a fantastic location with ample outdoor space. So often you come into buildings of this vintage, you've got the solid brick construction, but you don't have the courtyard. Or you've got the courtyard, but you don't have the location. When you're coming to this particular property, folks, you've got it all. Moments away from either Carnegie Station or Murrumbina Station, just a short walk to either one of them. Carnegie Primary School just down the road, the 67 tram at the end of Truganini Road, Carnegie Memorial Swimming Pool. The list goes on, folks. There's things within walking distance that will serve your every need from living in this particular location. As I mentioned a moment ago, solid brick in construction. We love that. You'll never get served a cladding notice on a solid brick building. They're built to last, ladies and gentlemen. This one, at a guess, probably built in the 60s or 70s. It's not going to be long, maybe in my career, I hope, before we're talking about these properties approaching, not in my career, what am I saying, but 100 odd years. We'll be celebrating their birthday coming up maybe in the end of Johnny's career. He's got a few more years on me. But the fact that they're still standing in the same shape that they were originally built is a testament to that solid brick construction, and it's the type of thing you want to be looking for as a buyer. The apartment itself, well proportioned, 2-bed, 1 bath. I love the floor plan that you've got the little hallway between the living room and the bedrooms. You can shut yourself apart and have proper division between your living areas and the bedrooms. And you've got that glorious north-facing sunshine soaking in through the courtyard at the front of the property and filling the kitchen and meals area with light. Being wedged out on the edge of the building, you've also got all of those extra windows on the southern boundary that help just increase a little bit of extra light into the property as well. So what you're left with is, even in the cooler winter months, a nice light-filled apartment in a fantastic spot. So buyers, what is the market doing? Everybody wants to know the answer to this. Are there going to be more interest rate rises? The answer is nobody knows. But I think no matter who you speak to, there might be one more interest rate rise, maybe there's two, but there's not going to be 10. Or at least I hope there's not going to be 10. And when we look around and see what that's been doing for confidence as we near the end of this interest rate rising cycle, we're seeing buyers return to the market. We've had 4 auctions today, 4 from 4 have sold under the hammer well above the quoted prices. We had an auction last night which got brought forward because we had 3 people trying to make offers on the property. Now I can tell you even 3 or 4 months ago we weren't seeing this sort of level of activity. The market is recovering, buyer confidence is coming back to it. Now is the time to get on the start of the next property cycle, folks. Make no doubt about that. So with that, we'll put it across to you now. 1 at 369 Neerim Road, Carnegie. Head in your hands, buyers, for a fair, reasonable start. Who'd like to bid us away here today? Don't mind the start, buyers. Turn that up a little bit. Happy to place a vendor bid if I need to, buyers. In your hands. Range of 480 to 520 throughout the campaign. If I'm placing a vendor bid, it's probably bottom end of the range somewhere, perhaps 490. Otherwise, you can bid now on your own terms. You tell me. 490, do we say? Suggest a start, 490. Failing that, I'll place a vendor bid in a moment's time. $490,000. Bids with me now at 490. We're away. We'll call for a rise of 10. At $490,000 a bid now, take it to an even 5 if you'd like to go, buyers. At $490,000 my bid. At $490,000. 490. Welcome to the bidding. Best of luck to you. 490,000. I'll let you match the bid there. We'll call for a 10 from there. At $490,000 a bid now. Do we say 500 even, buyers? At 490. There's your competition, folks. $490,000 a bid. We'll call it down 3 times. At 490,000. First time now, 490. Come in for 5 if you'd like to go, buyers. 500 even, can we say? Second call now, 490. Third call at $490,000 a bid. Well, buyers, if there is no further bidder advance, the property will be passing into the highest bidder, and I can tell you now, statistically speaking, like I mentioned a moment ago, they've already got an 80% chance of buying this property post-auction at $490,000. If you are here with interest today, don't be on the small side of the odds. Put your hand in the air and make sure you've got the highest bid at the end of the auction. At $490,000, fairly bid and offered on my left here. We'll call it down 3 more times. Love to see 500 even if we can. First call now at 490. Second call, 490. Third call now at $490,000 we're bid. What do you say, Johnny? Do you want a half-time break or are you good? We'll have a quick chat with our vendors and we'll be right back. Well, buyers, thank you very much for your patience. At $490,000, we are dealing exclusively with the highest bidder at this stage. Not on the market, but if there's no further bidder advance, the property will pass into the highest bidder here on the left at $490,000 a bid now. If you do want to come in for a rise of 10, get yourself in front, bid $500,000, and then you'll be given that opportunity at $490,000. We'll call it down 3 more times, and if there's no more bid, the property will pass in. $490,000 a bid now. Love to see 500 at 490. We're bid. Last chance for you all buyers. First call at 490,000. Do we say 500 even? Even if a $5,000 increment would get you involved, happy to take a shorter stride. Second call now, 490. Last opportunity for you all buyers. Third call at 490. The bid. All done. All silent. At $490,000 we're bid. Well, buyers, please join me in congratulating the highest bidder. We'll formally pass the property in. We'll look forward to negotiating a sale in a moment's time. Best of luck to you. Thank you very much for coming along. Have a great day.